Go.
Do you take my phone? Why would you go and do that? No.
Looks like we're live.
I think we're live. And as I said, this always catches out people, those first. But I believe we're live. Okay, we're live.
Perfect.
Thank you, Danny. Kacie, how you doing?
Good. For a Tuesday, it's beautiful up here in Brisbane, actually. So doing well.
Don't rub it in.
Yeah.
We were meant to be living there.
You were, yes. Yeah.
It's not that I don't like Melbourne, it's just that it's cold.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in a dress today, so there's no chance of a jumper or a jacket.
Danny's sitting there shaking her head as well. Kacie, really nice to have you here. And I'm going to pretend, I don't even have to pretend, this interview like I really don't understand LinkedIn. And I'm going to ask questions that I'm curious about. And my gut feeling is that it's pretty much questions that most people are going to be wanting to ask. Now, yeah. My first thing with helping people understand their business at the moment, and not to put fear in people, but if our business is all on Facebook, for example, and I at the end of last year, I started to realize I was pretty heavy Facebook. We don't own that business. At any time, and I'm sure we all know somebody who's been blocked or can't get replies or they're stuck at the moment. Your business is gone, just like that. Yeah. And so I've been diversifying to other social media platforms. I'm always working on filling my own database, of course, because I own that. But LinkedIn is one where I'm not stuck, but I'm struggling with. Yeah. I'm struggling. I feel like the design of it is less intuitive than Facebook. It's been designed by, I think, really tech-minded people. Yeah. But I'm sure you've heard that before.
Yeah, they do. They have more of a tech background. And I guess that's the biggest thing is straight away you get that community feel with Facebook and that more tech professional type of background with LinkedIn. So
yeah. And does it change a fair bit, or is it like Facebook, it's constantly growing?
It is constantly growing. Apparently the numbers are there are 2 people joining every, I want to say hour, but I feel like it's less time than that. So there's like 630 million people, something like that was the last count that I saw, which I think was February. Wow. 630 million people on LinkedIn, and it's growing. Maybe it's 2 people every day, perhaps something like that. But it's very active. It's still very active. And I'm not against Facebook at all. Obviously, I actually use it a lot for business as well. But I think too, depending on where you're going, will depend on which one will work better for you. And you're right. If Facebook shuts down, a lot of people will lose their clientele, will lose their presence as well online. Yeah. So I think it's definitely ideal to diversify, whether it is, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever, but it's definitely worth diversifying.
What do you see as the biggest differences between something like a platform like Facebook and LinkedIn? When you're moving or you're crossing that bridge and you go over to LinkedIn, what's the difference? Is there different people, different culture?
It's interesting because at the crux of it, there's not a lot of difference. Yes, Facebook has that more community, that more, business to consumer or business to customer type of feel. And you have that more community where it's okay to sort of share your lunch and share your wins and your stories and things like that. But on LinkedIn, okay, I wouldn't share your lunch, but you're still allowed to share your wins and share your the background side of things and the stories. Realistically, to me, when it comes to the two, yes, LinkedIn is more professional, but it doesn't mean only professionals are there. It's changed so much in the last few years. It used to be, yes, an online resume, and people would use it like that. But now there are so many business owners on there, and it is everyone from, your professional services like lawyers and accountants, but all the way through to, working mums, so to speak, And I'm not boxing anyone or categorizing anyone, but you even have the health and wellness industry quite present on there. One of my clients was a tradie, and you wouldn't think a tradie, a handyman, would be on something like LinkedIn because it's for the professional space. There's a level of professionalism, yes, but you still need to showcase the backbone of your business, the personality, the brand, all that sort of thing, which you do on Facebook. Sometimes it's just a little bit of tweaking when it comes to the posting side of things.
So there's a massive difference in the way that people communicate, which we're used to in Messenger, to an extent in Instagram as well, and other social media platforms, and LinkedIn. And I know that you probably know what I'm going to say, and I find I struggle with the communication on LinkedIn because I know how to have a conversational reality via Messenger. I know how to speak in my own voice when I'm typing. But LinkedIn is notorious for the, hey, Kacie, nice to connect. Here's my website.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I don't reply to those people. They're gone. They're dead.
Look, I'm almost at the point of going, how's this working for you? Because it doesn't, in my experience and a lot of experience with other people that I know, it doesn't work. You can't, to me, it's like walking up to someone in a room and going, hey, Andrew, here's my business card. Now I can help you with LinkedIn because I know you need help, blah, 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 blah. Before I even know your last name, I even know what you do. Do you even have an issue with LinkedIn? Is it even worth you being? Like, you wouldn't walk up to someone in life and sell your product at them straight away without having that conversation. I think the cool part, though, with LinkedIn compared to Facebook sometimes is people expect to be contacted. People are expecting to have that conversation of some kind. How you treat that conversation, though, is what makes the difference.
So I like that. So the difference is people are expecting to be contacted. Like it's like the rite of passage. You connect with somebody and then it's an introduction. Is that, and remember, this is just our opinion. It's probably right though, but this is just our opinion. But I don't see how messaging someone straight away with your website or contact me or, hey, I'm on a webinar tonight, join me, and you go, you don't even know what I do.
Yeah.
Properly.
You don't even know if I have a website, or if I even need one.
Are there a couple of ideas or tips that you could give about that conversational reality?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess my mindset around it is I think of LinkedIn as it was built to be an online networking platform. Again, if you network in real person, how you treat someone in real life, to me, is how you treat someone online on LinkedIn. So to me, again, when you first reach out to people, I always say, please send a connection message and try and tweak it from the standard, hey, I'd love to join your LinkedIn network, because that's there for everyone. But even keep it as simple as, hey, Andrew, I see you help speakers or something. I'd love to connect with you. Mention something that's personal about that person. It can be in depth, like you can go through their profile if you've got the time. And this is the thing, again, it depends on how much time you have. You can go into that and find something personal, go, I love that article that you wrote on such and such. I'd love to connect with you. Or just simply say, hey, look, I'm really wanting to connect with, speaker coaches or accountants or whoever. It'd be great to be part of your network. Even that small tweak makes such a huge difference on people who accept that connection.
Now, we've been talking about this, I know, in the Presenters Tribe. Right now, if we bring things to the now, there was pre-coronavirus.
Yeah.
Everything I feel like we were doing up to this point is now obsolete and done. There is, in coronavirus and post, almost irrelevant too, because many countries, including
when is that?
We don't know when this finishes. So we've been told 3 months, 6 months. I think our Prime Minister told us like a year to a year and a half before we start traveling.
Yeah.
You can buy into that fear, which is pretty anxiety inducing, or you come back to the present and go, what do I do now
Yeah.
And how do I start reaching out and helping people with problems? Because businesses solve problems, don't
Yes.
they? Problems haven't gone away. What's happened right now, and I think this is, it's actually cut us some slack in being able to go ask a genuine question. How are you?
Mm.
And then get into another genuine question, which is actually the business speaking, going, how is your business going in these times or during this crisis? Before people can feel a bit icky, or that part they find tough.
It's too personal.
Too personal.
Yeah.
There's two things here. We spoke about this. One is it's actually your business speaking to another business.
Mm.
It's just that we're the face of it.
Yeah.
And right now we can get straight to that point of, seriously, how's your business faring right now? Because I'm aware that many of us are wondering if our business is going to go under, or if it's going to struggle, we're going to lose clients.
Yeah.
Are you finding that, or is that something that you're working with at the moment, being able to get?
It actually is. And honestly, I've been asking pretty much those exact questions. I've actually been going back to everyone who I'm connected with, which is a lot of people. I do have help as well, I must say. I don't do all this by myself. But I am going back, and I've said things like, I was actually saying before the coronavirus side of things hit, hey, how's your first quarter been so far? And it's just opening up conversation. Again, if you're going to go with a coffee to have a coffee with a friend, it wouldn't be, so, I'd love to tell you about this new project I'm working on, blah, blah, blah. It's, how's life? Just as simple as that. It's that conversation. And I believe that sometimes we do get in our own heads and we go, oh, but what if I say the wrong thing? And what if someone gets upset with me and I can't ask that? And it's like, well, you can't judge that other person. You don't know what their response is. They might not even respond. So just breathe and just don't overanalyze and just do it. But definitely asking, how's business right now? Sorry?
Why do you think it's so hard for people to ask the genuine question? And again, just reiterating, right now it's never been more legit to actually go, by the way, I solve a problem for you, for people. I believe right now during this crisis that I can help you, so then you can actually help someone else, you can help someone else. And it's this ripple effect. Why do people find it so hard to just simply ask that question of having a conversation, and then when it feels right, going, right now, like, how's your business doing? Can I help you?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's to do with sometimes almost the fear of being judged by someone else, or feel like, it's actually not okay to reach out and ask because, everything's going through that. But this is all in our heads. Like this is our problem, not someone else's to deal with.
The conversation we had last week.
Yeah, exactly. And it's our problem. And I've had clients going, oh, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to reach out to that person. It's like, who tells you you're not allowed to reach out to that person? And especially with LinkedIn, it is that global platform. You can reach CEOs and managing directors of these multi-million-dollar companies, and it's actually allowed. But again, how you approach it is what makes a difference. So asking a CEO of some multi-million-dollar company, hey, how's business going? But coming, I guess, from a place of genuine interest and not a place of like a self-serving, I'm going to make a sale out of this. I think that's what makes the difference. And again, you can't assume what's going to go through that other person's mind when they get that message. You've just got to do it.
Really, really nice. I think another part of this equation is if you really believe in what you're doing, like I have no problem asking people how's their business and can I help you, because if they have the problem that I have the solution to, I know I can help.
And it's genuine. It's like, I actually want to help you because I know this will make a difference. Not I want to help you so I can just make money.
Stay afloat.
Exactly.
Which is actually a pretty legit reason anyway. I want to keep the roof over my head, and
I think what's going to happen now with everything going so digital, it's really going to sift out, so to speak, those who are being genuine and seriously just want to help other people, and those who are just in it for the money. I think it's going to start to sort of filter out a few of those without sounding negative. I think if you are someone who legitimately just wants to help, yes, you've got to charge for your services because we have to. We've got to keep everything going. But yeah, as long as you're not in it just to self-serve.
It's a really nice point you make. And we had a great discussion a couple of weeks ago, the group of us of, yes, Danny?
Oh, I can be out of this picture. I'm just going to stop that noise.
What are you doing?
I'm stopping the noise.
Ah, I see, sorry. You're very, very stealth speaking underneath here. I forgot what I was talking about.
I was talking about being genuine and legitimately wanting to help people.
That's right, yes. During a something like this, which I'm not even going to pretend I even fully understand, because I may never experience again, and my children may never even experience it in their whole lifetime, and so forth. But right now, it's we've had this opportunity to absolutely pivot.
Yeah.
So for example, I've gone from world tours and retreats into events, my whole year mapped out, and I've been building to this for 3 years, to in a single day discovering that I have to let go of that right now. Yeah. And that took me 3 days of probably crying into my cornflakes.
Yeah, I think everyone did, yeah.
Which was just that passage, and then going, hold on. I just woke up one morning and went, hold on, I still solve a problem. And the problem actually hasn't gone away. It's just that I'm going to have to alter how I solve that problem. What do I teach? What is my genius? So presenting the camera, being able to stand out, articulate what it is that you do. The problem that you solve right now is show it on their LinkedIn profile, making people look, this is actually the level of expertise I've got. Yeah. I'm a professional. This is the problem I solve. But I think the real essence of what you do is helping people who aren't so good at this create those engaging conversations that lead to, can I help seriously? I can see what your problem is and I can help you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really interesting how many of us are so comfortable. Granted, the world's changed, so we can't just go out and have that conversation, but how many of us are so comfortable just to have that conversation in person? And yet you say do it online, and it's terrifying for a lot of people. Or they're trying to structure their conversation in a way that is so medical, so to speak, or so technical that it's no longer them.
Yes.
So I know I do help them be themselves, just breathe, just be yourself, and showcase who you are, through your profile. But also I believe part of it too is what we do in the end is I create a lot of confidence. I help them create a lot of confidence around that. And because a lot of people, I think, go on LinkedIn too, believing they have to sell themselves, and people are not confident. And it used to be summary, now it's the about section. If you don't use that about section to sell yourself, no one else is going to do it for you. But there's ways and there's ways, again, in my opinion. So,
yeah. I love that, Kacie. I'm going to ask you this question then. How do you find your people in LinkedIn? Like, how do you go find them and to connect with?
Honestly, you search for them like you do a Google search, pretty much. It's and I'm like, it's simple, and it actually is. It's actually really simple. Sure? I am sure. Okay. If you can, so you know who your client avatar is. So from that, we know your ideal clients. Mm-hmm. When you know who your ideal clients are, literally write down a list of what are their actual job titles? What is the actual industry that they work in? And that's where your searches come from. So for example, let's just say they're business consultants within the health and wellness industry or something like that. Yep. You literally can go in the search bar, which is at the very top of LinkedIn, type in business consultant and health, capital and, because you want LinkedIn to find profiles that have both the words business consultant and the word health. Literally click search. You've got to do some filtering as well. Like, obviously you don't need to connect to your first connections, just your second. Mm-hmm. But you start doing that.
That little point there, what did you mean? So not connecting to your first connections, but the second. Is that another filter that you can use?
Yes. So once you do a search, there's several filters. So you can filter to your first, second, or third plus. First, you're already connected to.
Okay.
Obviously, you want to stay in contact with those people, but when you're searching for new people, The second connections are the easiest ones to get in contact with. The third plus are usually a bit harder and you need to have the paid versions of LinkedIn. And what I'm saying right now, you can do this for free. Like you do not need to have a paid version of LinkedIn. It comes down to how you filter.
What is a second connection? Is that someone who's connected to one of your first connections? Is that how it works?
Yeah. So LinkedIn works like a ripple effect. So you've got, say, you in the middle, you've got all your first connections, let's say it's 1,000 people.
Yep.
And then your second connections are connected to that 1,000. And then the third, and it ripples out. It's literally like you're the pebble in the middle and it just ripples out.
Okay.
So it is so much easier to connect to that second level rather than anyone else. And, you know, if your 1,000 people have got 1,000 people, that's a lot. I'm like, I'm going to say the wrong number.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
I'm not expecting to get that right.
Yeah.
It's many.
Yes.
So then, and what about the, could you tell us, the copy is very different too in a LinkedIn post. The copy feels.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah. To Facebook, yes and no.
Yes.
I say to a lot of people, look, if you're already creating content on Facebook, throw it on LinkedIn. Just change what the first part is. So I always try and make it that the top section is not about, hey, this is what's happening in my life right now or my business right now. It's more of an external focus. So it could simply be, you know, it's been awesome to help however many people, blah, blah, blah. Bang, this is what's happening in my business right now as a second version. Again, I try and, like, if I notice a lot of people on Facebook have their questions maybe in like the second or the third or the fourth sentence or right down the bottom. In LinkedIn, put it first. Ask that question, gain that interest. But the rest of the copy can be the same. Literally just tweaking.
So it's just a tiny little tweak of the copy that we're using in other platforms. Right, gotcha. Now, what about the use of video? Now, I know doing lives is not yet rolled out for everybody. It's just...
No, it's a select few. You've got to ask. I've even asked and I haven't got it yet. It's just a matter of when LinkedIn chooses to give it to you, I think, right now. But also, obviously, you've got to have made some sort of impact on LinkedIn, I believe, as well. It's rolling out slowly, but in saying that, you can still upload video. You can still upload it as if you'd create a post and upload an image. Instead, you upload a video. Keep it under 10.
Oh, so under 10 minutes?
Yeah, limit is 10 minutes. Ideally, you know, like most of us know, if you're trying to keep a video 2 to 3 minutes, you've probably got people's attention. And I would say, please put on subtitles, because the amount of people who read a video over listen to it on LinkedIn is quite high.
Okay.
So,
I've been told that so many times, the subtitles part. So I
yeah.
feel like today was the last time I need to hear that.
Yeah. Okay.
For doing subtitles, is there a place that we can get that done?
It depends. Like, I've heard people do it through obviously rev.com. They will do the subtitles for you, but then you need to upload it, like attach it to your video. I've heard people who have paid YouTube can actually attach subtitles, things like Camtasia. There's so many different ways. I think you sort of need to look at what you're using right now and what's easiest. There's other programs too that, you know, you can create a video and it will do the subtitles for you as well. And I cannot remember the name of it right now, but I can definitely pop it in the comments later.
I like the sound of Subtasia. The sound's very...
Camtasia.
Camtasia.
Yeah. I haven't actually used that one myself, but I've heard it's pretty simple to use.
Okay. Right, I like it. I'm actually starting to get a picture of how I can actually do something here.
There's one thing I want to say in regards to the content, and this is what I love in regards to the difference to Facebook. So I'm going to use Danny here because I think most people know of Danny. Yes. So Andrew, let's say you and I are friends, but Danny and I are not. I put a post on Facebook. You can like it. There's no chance Danny's going to see it. And probably unless you physically go and show it to her, because you guys obviously live in the same house. But on LinkedIn, you and I are friends. Danny and you are friends, but again, Danny and I are not friends. All you need to do is like my post on LinkedIn, and there's a chance Danny's going to see it. And that's how that ripple effect works.
Right. So it goes into by me liking it, it will appear in her feed.
Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
there's a very high chance she'll see it. Obviously commenting as well, but it's as simple as a like. So if you, next time you scroll through your LinkedIn like newsfeed, just have a look and then just have a really quick look at the top of the post and you'll just see, you know, Kacie liked this, and then there's some random post from someone. So
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Now, when you help people, I don't expect you, by the way, I don't need you to tell everybody the nitty gritty here. This,
Yeah.
you know, this is what you get paid for. I imagine that you have pretty much a system or an approach is you do up someone's profile, make them look very professional, and then help them. I know there's more to it than this, but then help them identify where their clients are, and then teach them how to have that conversational reality that ends up in a, can I help?
Yes. Yeah.
That's kind
in
of
a nutshell. That's it. Yeah.
Should be your copywriter. Which is, for some people, you go, how come you can't do that? But one, we're too busy. So if you're the CEO of a business, or which I am of my own
life,
life, I simply don't have time.
Yeah.
You know, me going in and starting to, because it's like a TARDIS. If anyone remembers Doctor Who and the TARDIS, it's that TARDIS of once you go in, there's just so much more to do. But if your profile doesn't capture somebody, if it doesn't tell them what it is that you actually do properly and who you and the problems that you solve, it just doesn't go any further.
No, and that's the thing is, someone actually asked me yesterday, do you think people look at your website straight away? And I'm like, well, if you're on LinkedIn, no, they'll check out your profile, because they're actually asking in regards to LinkedIn. I said they may eventually get to your website, but the first thing they're going to do is click on your face and have a look at that profile. So yes, that profile needs to speak wonders about you. As uncomfortable as people can be about that, it has to do that. It's your 24/7, 365 salesperson.
I love it. It's actually the same equivalent of, I talk about, you know, video, especially at the moment. It's if your video doesn't stand out, and when when you're speaking in a room full of people, you can lock the doors and they have to watch.
They're stuck.
No,
it's too embarrassing to get up and walk out the room.
Go, hey, back down here.
Yeah.
Video, you look, and it might come through the feed a few times, and then on the fifth, sixth time you go, oh, who is this Kacie person? You look at it, and if you haven't got them in that first 5 seconds, they disappear into the next. I feel like it's the same with people's profiles and their LinkedIn profile. When you go searching, you're not going to sit there for a long time looking at someone's profile. It either tells you or it doesn't. And I find that even with Facebook personal profiles, I find it crazy how many people haven't got a professional looking personal page. When you go onto it, it's still got cats or their dogs or kittens, or, you know, the picture of the kids, which is lovely, but I don't know what you do. And if you're wanting to come into a group or do work with me or friend or just make that connection, and it's like, I just see a cat person. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know what the essence of you is like.
And that would be even worse on LinkedIn, because it's not such a social platform. It's more like it's a business platform. Oh my God, I only just got it. I just had a click. Less that social platform, and it is a business to business platform. Oh my God, it's only taking me.
Okay, yes. Hence, Facebook is very community. LinkedIn is very business. To me, it's B2C, B2B are the two different platforms.
Amazing. And now I've just understood why people think it's okay to send a business stuff straight away. And missing that point where when I used to produce, and I ended up being very good at producing TV and video. I would always, and it used to do a lot of cold calling, big companies.
I hate it.
Yeah. And it was always, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I'll start the conversation and ask, and they'd ask, how you doing, Andrew? I'm like, oh, I'm still breathing. And then they'd a little laugh. And then we'd talk about stuff, how's family? And then they'd go, oh, Andrew, by the way, what do you want? It's like, hey, look, I've got, this is what I do. This is how I can help you. I've been looking at your website and stuff. And they go, come on, this is before we did Zoom calls and things, by the way.
Yeah.
It was come and have a cup of coffee. They would normally end up inviting me. It was just because I was good at that conversational reality of, actually, if I want to do business, I actually want to do business with this person because I could handle hanging around with this person for a while.
Yeah.
So, it's,
because you become, and I think it's, well, in a lot of countries, definitely Australia though, is people want to be your mate. We're all the same level. We've got to be mates. We've got to be friends before I do business with you.
Yes.
So
do you think there's an Australia, New Zealand culture? And I mean, in many cultures, there's no small talk. I think I many years ago, I remember I was dating this woman from Finland, and she came over to New Zealand, and she was walking into shops, and she came over to me and she was so angry. And I was like, what's wrong? And she goes, why do all these people keep coming up to me and asking how I am?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we do. Really.
I did that in England, and my dad visited. He's like, "G'day, g'day," and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Like it was a little village, I must say. It wasn't London.
So it is that saying when someone is a bit more forceful, understanding too that subtleties of different cultures mean that we are going to have okay, I'm down the bottom of the earth here. We tend to make a little bit more small talk.
Yeah.
But if you're speaking to someone in the USA, maybe it is getting used to meeting them in the middle. I like a little bit of small talk, but let's get into business.
And I think part of that comes down to, it's very hard, obviously, to hear the context when you read text, like when you read a message. But I think it's sort of just starting to pick up on the subtleties in their messaging. Like you'll notice, like, there's, if you want to just break it down to 4 different personalities, the 4 different personalities have 4 different types of styles of speaking, have 4 different styles of writing. You'll notice the ones who start off with fluff, they want to have a conversation, they want to get to know you and be buddies and all the rest of it. The point, people who come, like, so if you're reaching out saying, how are you? And someone goes, oh my God, it's been whatever. They're probably someone who want to have a conversation more. If they come back with, we've had a downturn. Okay, granted, no one's probably going to speak exactly like this, but we've had a downturn of such and such %, or, bang, 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 almost dot point style. Just get into it with them. They don't have time to waste on fluffy conversation.
I just wrote down too.
Yeah. So there is and it comes down, I think sometimes it comes down to experience of just, again, not assuming obviously what someone's trying to say or the context that they're trying to say it, but just start to take note of how people write, and you'll quickly pick up on when you respond whether it's working or not because of their style, which is difficult, yes, when it comes to the written word. But if you start paying attention, you'll start to notice the difference. That's very complex.
It is, but again, when you learn how to pick up the language and the signs and understand that, there is something that what I do enjoy about other cultures is that ability to get down to business fast. So when I want something, like let's say my packaging, my marketing, these are areas that are my forte, and when I'm looking for that person, I actually don't want general fluff conversation. Like when you're ready, you're ready. Like if someone's ready to do standout videos, there's no point in me going around the edges and being fluffy. It's just like, sure, sit on a call. Yeah.
Well, I even had that experience. Granted, this actually came through Facebook, not LinkedIn, but I had someone reach out to me and said, hey, I see you do LinkedIn profile updates. Can you send me the information? Here's my email. And I thought, bam, it's short and sweet message. I'll go back, not going, hey, how's it going? Thanks so much for reaching out. Right? It was like, hey, thanks for the connection. Here's the information with the prices. And she literally came back saying, I'll take option 2. Can we book in a call? I knew fully well if I went in with, how's your week been? How's it? I would have lost her.
Yes. when you're short of time and you know what you want,
Yeah.
I do feel like the more it's interesting, isn't it? Because you think of it the other way around, but when people, it's a bigger sum of money that you're charging, or that higher end, they don't want the fluff. It's, you get on and you have a very short conversation, and then you get down to, okay, you're not here to really make friends. You're here for me to solve a problem for you. Bang, 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 bang. And then it's over. Those busy people, it's more around that, it's more around that lower end of business. Do you find,
What's around the lower end of business?
When it's at that higher end of business, when it's when 30, 40, 50K.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it comes down to, you're dealing with a busy person.
Yeah. Just get to the point.
And as you go down maybe more that entry level area. Yeah. People tend to still not have those business skills, or that skills of, this is what I want. This is what I want.
And I think part of that is, so then when we are having those conversations, we probably do need to be that little bit more compassionate or empathetic, so to speak, but asking and having those fluffy conversations, whether we're comfortable with it or not. It's not about us, it's about the person we're dealing with or speaking to. And I think too, when you're dealing with the entry level people, they are still learning to separate themselves from their business. Yes. I've been there. I think I was there in and out for the last few months sometimes, but being able to separate the two, because I think your mindset around what's important for me as a person and what's important for my business, those lines can be blurred a little bit, especially right now as well. So,
yes. Yes, I like it. Is there anything, first of all, Kacie, I've been working with you for a little while, and I love what you do. Not only you're a genuine person, but you're really good at what you do.
Thank you.
Always helps. You've taught me a lot. I actually learned myself a couple of little pennies dropped for me today. I couldn't really hide the expression on my face. Which was what I wanted to hear. So, oh my God, of course I'm having, right. How do people find you? Like, where do people come and find you? Because I know there's people like me who need your help with LinkedIn. And actually, you don't just do that though. You actually have an ongoing thing where they help do those conversations and set up the stuff.
There's actually the background as well, is where, like you said before, Andrew, there's a lot of people who are out there just super busy. And that's where part of my business too just does it for them. That's the other, I teach, but I can also do it for them.
Do it for them. What does that mean?
So I pretend to be you, and believe it or not, this is very good at being a 40-plus-year-old male. I think the thing is, I know one of my skills is that I am a very good communicator, and I'm very good at listening and observing and understanding someone else's personality.
That's a really good quality to have.
Yeah. And I know with that, then I'm able to help you speak as yourself online, and whether that's through your profile, but the done for you side of things, that's pretty much pretending to you to be on LinkedIn, doing all those searches, reaching out to all those ideal clients that you have, creating the conversation, and then getting them to the point of saying, obviously not a coffee, do you want a call or a Zoom right now? But do it in a way that is that conversational tone, that is that trust building aspect, not just, hey, do you want to buy my product type of thing.
I love that, Kacie. There's a really good point you brought up here is, I know some people might be watching this and going, oh, I think that's terrible in business, that people pretend to be people.
Yeah.
The real point, I feel really strongly about this, is if I want a really good mentor and my mentor is replying to me himself, I've got a problem probably with that mentor, is that he should be too busy to be replying to me. And it's like too with the Facebook Live challenge, and the odd person goes, oh, you were using a bot. It's like, what, you expect me to message personally
24/7? Yeah. 2 a.m. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you need a little bit of business 101 to begin with, but having someone else do it is actually really normal because it allows the visionary, the CEO or whoever's driving things to focus on what it is that you're meant to be doing, to play at that vanguard and innovate and keep doing things while that part of the business keeps going.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the thing is, like, I will never, ever, ever answer a question, say, as you, Andrew, if I don't know the answer, or if it seems really personal, or if it's something that I'm like, no, this is Andrew's expertise, he has to answer this. And I think that's the thing is, for me, like I said, communication is probably actually one of my highest values. So even when it comes to my clients, we talk, you know, or communicate or text, whatever works best for them. So, yeah.
I'm just going to test here. I'm going to see if there's any questions, Kacie. Is that okay?
Sure. Yep. Not a problem.
Normally, I have my handy little assistant, Danny.
She's disappeared.
Having a look for me. Here we go. Okay, there's 67 comments. Right.
Holy moly. If we can't get through to all of them, I'm more than happy to jump on later and just scroll through as well.
Okay, here they are rolling. Tanya, so when you contact the CEO, you are messaging his assistant? Absolutely.
No. I mean, you can message your assistant or just go straight to the CEO. He's there. Like, he'll either reach out to you or not. And if he doesn't, then yeah, go for the assistant.
Nice. Tammy, I hope one day I never have to do social media again.
I think we're stuck here.
It's actually a really fair point. And
it is.
I love doing my lives. I love doing my things, but I honestly, although I do some of my messaging, I need my team to be doing that. Otherwise, I'm not focusing my energy on people, my tribe or the startup or in my other programs, or I'm not focusing on what is the content of my 5-day retreat. And you get pulled into the business instead of working on the bigger stuff. And I find a lot of people get stuck in that, and because they're stuck in this thinking of, I like the personal touch, but if your business is doing well, the personal touch is one of the things that has to disappear because you cannot be in all these places.
Exactly. And yes, as you know, we want to build trust with people and we want to build rapport with people for sure. And I know, without sounding full of myself, I know some people want to work with me because it's me. But I then still have to educate them that, yes, it's me, but I also have a team that helps. So I may not be here 24/7, but somebody is, and that's okay. But don't worry, you're still looked after.
Nice. Is there just a question here? Is there a way, when you post an article?
Yes.
Is there a good way to post an article on LinkedIn?
So there is, again, so when you first look at your home screen, which is where your newsfeed is and everything else, at the very top, that's where you can create a post. There's also like a little, then just underneath that, it says create an article. So an article is like a blog post. So you can definitely create an article. I would, anything that's long form, have an article, but you'll probably be surprised too. You've probably got 3 or 4 posts within that to create a short post that can then be pushed back to that article as well to create that engagement.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. I don't know if Danny's in here commenting as well. Is there any further questions? I've taken up 47 of your minutes here, Kacie. Yeah, if you have time and if you feel like you can do it over a few days if you like, there'll be some more questions in there if you come in, and that'd be amazing to answer them. Fantastic.
Yeah, no, more than happy to do that. I know it will help. So
yes,
especially now.
Look, we're in unprecedented times. It's a time to really work on mindset. It's a time to understand that you have to pivot in business. It's really important to realize now that people's or business problems haven't gone away. It's just that people are distracted with with the conversation of coronavirus, understand.
Yeah.
Our job now is to be able to stand out in that conversation or stand out online because it's so much more busier.
Yeah.
Being able to have those genuine conversations is a massive plus. And if you're not doing that, that's something, being able to lead in a genuine conversation. So seriously, Kacie, how's your business being affected at the moment because of this pandemic or being locked down? If someone asked me that 2 weeks ago, I would have gone, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks. I
think it's only 2 weeks.
I'm coming to grips right now with everything that I've been working towards, like world tours and events.
It's just
gone.
Yeah.
And dealing with that. If someone had hit me that day with Andrew has business, I would have just gone.
Yeah.
And then if they had the solution to that problem, hey, Andrew, would you like me to actually figure out what you could do online and how this could go online? I would have gone, yes. How much is that? Because that's going to get me started.
Just fix it. Yeah.
Just fix the problem. And then, because what's happening, this is what I found anyway. Once I created a new online program, I got down to that realization that it's all going to be here. And then I realized this is amazing. It's all here. We're all online. All of a sudden, we are all in the same place.
We are all here.
Looking at the same thing.
Yeah.
This is the time to be able to, as entrepreneurs, as coaches, as mentors, our business, people in this business, in this industry need our help.
Yeah.
And as long as we continue to allow others to help us, hire others to help us, and then we're doing that over here, this business will keep rolling.
Yeah.
It was only when I went into my scarcity mindset, after I was probably spoken to my mum, kind of thing.
Yeah. I think we all did again.
I'm going lockdown and button down the hat. It's going to be a long one.
You just got to do what you can to survive. I don't want to survive. I mean, yes, I want to survive, but I want to actually grow.
It's like, hold on. Yeah, it is. And you start to panic and feel anxious and you go, okay, I don't want to speak to mum for a little while.
Yeah.
But then you spin that around, especially if you've got a coach or a mentor or just good friends, and they start going, think about the opportunity in here.
Yeah.
Think about the opportunity. Yes, it's going to take some time to pivot your business, but more than ever, people need your help.
Yeah.
And that doesn't give you a reason to check in on somebody and ask how you're doing. And if you know their business, can I help you right now? Is there anything I can do to help you right now? Yeah. And it's so freaking genuine because you're literally going, can I help you right now?
Yeah. And I think too, you being able to use something, online like LinkedIn. Now, yes, if you haven't already done it, I mean, just test it out. If you've never used LinkedIn, just play with it and see what happens. But now to me is the time to just keep that momentum going, keep those conversations going, keep, if you're already creating posts to educate your clients, just keep doing it, because come whatever the other side of this is,
yes,
there will be a lot of people trying to get air online.
Yeah. And
it's going to be very competitive. That's my personal opinion.
And the beautiful thing is too, when we do get out the other side, whenever that is, I try not to think about that part.
Yeah.
Is you will have you would have created new skills and new mental skills, new business skills, and you'll have something functioning in here which you can do from anywhere. I mean, the whole laptop lifestyle thing is going to become real. It's just that we're probably still going to be doing it from our living rooms.
Yeah, that's it.
A lot of great comments in here. I know someone just said, if someone's trying to connect with me and they don't solve my problem,
this is a good one. Because some people will say, do you connect with everyone? Is there a point? And I'm like, well, yes, because at the same time, again, like in real life, you don't know who they're connected to. And like I was saying before with the whole just liking someone's post, you don't know if your information is going to end up in front of someone who actually needs it. So I probably connect with 99%, 98% of people who reach out to me. The
Yes.
only people I don't connect with is I actually don't connect with businesses, because LinkedIn is person-to-person platform. It's not a business-to-business, yes, but I don't want to deal with a business face. I want to deal with the person, because I'm having a conversation with a person.
Great point.
And
Lovely.
you will come across those who will, yes, reach out and then say you something. It's okay. Just delete them. If you delete someone or block someone, they're not going to get a notification. It's okay.
Really nice. It's not taking offense to it. It's just it's literally just going through that in the stockyards with the.
Yeah. And again, it'd be like you go to an event, you'll take, well, hopefully not take 20 business cards. If you've taken 20 business cards in 2 hours, you're working that room too hard and not well.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you've walked away with a few business cards, there'll be some of those cards. Some people you want to connect with, and others you're like, you know what, didn't feel right with that person, so I'm just going to let them go.
Yes.
Or I'll just hold on to their card, because you just never know in the future.
Yeah,
That's how I sort of look at it.
And before we wrap up, I just want to go back to that thing of actually there is actually, I'm starting to see LinkedIn in a very different light, by the way. So you've worked your magic. I just realized I'm not going to find cat pictures and puppy pictures or crystal people.
At the moment, you'll see some random memes, but not a lot.
When I go to someone's profile, it's going to
Yeah.
tell me this is what I do. And that means you don't have to sift through their profiles. Because on Facebook, you go to their profile, and if you don't see what they're doing, then you have to go through to their business page or their group, and it's time consuming. And I actually don't make it that far. And LinkedIn, this is what I do.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing with that is your profile. Yes, it has to clearly say, this is what I do. The image at the top, your headline, your about section, it all has to state that. My only tip, though, is in the about section, instead of saying, hey, I'm Kacie and I'm a LinkedIn expert and I'm amazing at this and here's all my amazing skills, it's more turning it around to have that external focus of saying, hey, I'm Kacie. I'm actually really passionate about helping people with LinkedIn. This is how I help. These are the results we get together, rah, rah. So it's more that how you help, that external focus, rather than this is how amazing I am.
Nice. I love
Yeah.
really nice. We are in unprecedented times, and someone said, I think this was Ali just here, and it just is a nice way to finish this, is we're transferring our skills to other people. My genius zone to help you, your genius zone to help somebody else, And as long as we keep that economy going and that transferring of our genius zone, our skills, the pieces of the puzzle that I'm going to help people with, then that will keep rippling out, and that ripple effect of solving a problem for people. And would you agree the first thing is getting our heads around and accepting, it's getting to that acceptance of things aren't going to be the same for a long time. Adjusting to it, and then once I had my new direction and how I was going to help, I started to get internally excited again.
It's important. I actually heard Simon Sinek, I saw an interview, a team meeting that he posted on YouTube, and in it he said a lot of people after this are going to have new jobs, not necessarily a new job in a new company, but they're going to have a new job within their own company.
I love it. Yep. And how many people are sitting at home now, loving not working? And who, when this does finish, are going to realize that they actually freaking hate their lives and their job. And right now, for anyone who, I say this, you have an opportunity right now. While you might be getting laid off and you might be getting a government subsidy, or you might be getting a subsidy from your employer, or you have it right now, you've probably got one foot still in your business and you've been wanting to do this, become a coach, an entrepreneur or something for a long time. Now is your time. And I say this time and time again, if not now, seriously, when?
And now's the time just to play and test. And worst case, 6 months, 12 months, hopefully not that long down the track, when you do go back to the office, you'll know one way or the other for sure.
And you might, and if you use this time wisely, you may not have to go back to the office.
Exactly. And that's why I think too is, yes, I'm going to implement LinkedIn here again, but keeping those connections alive, keeping that network growing. And it doesn't matter whether you're a business owner, an employee, a CEO, you need to keep that network going, especially online, because physically we can't do that right now.
Yeah, nice. Kacie, how do, just to reiterate, how do people find you?
Would you believe I'm the only Kacie Brignall in the world?
The only
Kacie Brignall with my spelling, there is, yeah, I am me. But look, I am actually very open. Obviously, it's Kacie Brignall on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on Instagram. I'm everywhere. But I'm actually quite an open person as well, and I'm happy to connect with people, whether it be on Facebook or LinkedIn, whatever people are most comfortable with. And my business page is obviously Kacie Rose with a Z and a Kacie, but yeah, I'm actually pretty easy to find, believe it or not.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
No, literally my pleasure. Answering so many of these questions for people. Honestly, I've had such a shift in my thinking about LinkedIn in this last 50 minutes. It's been fantastic. So really much appreciated. I'll see you tomorrow anyway.
Yep.
And whenever you feel like it, answer those questions. That would be amazing. Thank you so much, Kacie.
No, thank you. And yeah, guys, just reach out if you do need anything. I'm always happy just to quickly help, for sure.
Beautiful. Thank you.